Well, hello, everybody, and this is Auntie, and we are here to do our review of Seeking Sister Wife Season 6, Episode 5. This is my wife, and our girlfriend. You talking about some fool la la. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my nieces and nephews, and all the y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie advice. Sweet old. It's time for auntie advice. Oh, yeah. It's time for auntie advice. Well, welcome back, everybody. And this is Auntie. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. To all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your continued support. I want to shout out to all my members. JW, I see you in the house. I'm always Leo. Hi, Boo. She says, hey, Auntie, I haven't caught you alive and forever love you. Love you too, and welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Well, this episode was very, very interesting. And we're going to talk about each of these couples. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. Yeah. Let me bring up the couples on the screen for those of you all who are just visiting or just finding out about my channel. I thank you so much for being here. So this is a mess. Teresa has really brought a dynamic to this relationship. She is kind of changing the game up with them and really making them come forward with all of the fake food la la that they have going on. Now, as we all know, Teresa has indicated that she has known this couple, I think she said 14 years. And so, she really wants to infiltrate this system. Last time that we saw Sister Wives, Danielle was there half of the season, and then she ghosted the couple. And we found out that she absolutely left this family because they were wanting her. They were interviewing at that time other people to come into this polygamous relationship. And she just wasn't for, marrying another woman. Teresa has since went on an interview and indicated on an interview, while they say that they are not, like April and Jen are not together, she said that's a whole bald-faced lie. They be with each other. Okay. Now, Teresa has already hinted or, basically talked about, in the last episode, that she wants to bring another person into the relationship to solidify her place. Now, this week, Teresa is talking about it again. And Nick and Jennifer and April are, they basically having a problem with it. They feel like Teresa is moving too fast. And Nick is I hate to even talk about him, but I guess people like what they like. But there's no way in the world I'd be interested in a man like this. You know, we find out, right, that Nick is a veteran. And so I guess he getting VA benefits. He calls himself a king, and the women says that he doesn't drive. And they were like, if you got a king, why should he drive? That's why he's so pompous and arrogant and thinks so highly of himself, because he has these women that are willing to kiss his and make him feel like he is the most important person in the world to them. He is a stay home dad. He's always been a stay home dad. And he reads books all days and come up with a whole bunch of bull crap. He was talking about some crap at the table. I don't even care. I don't even know what he was talking about. Anyway, he's basically they had they all went out to a restaurant, and when they went to the restaurant, he introduced himself as, this is my wife, and this is our wife, and then this is our girlfriend. And I was like, nobody cares about that, right? If I was a waitress and I was waiting on their table, I'd have been like, oh, okay. So anyway, what we have on the menu, have you all had an opportunity to look at? Shut that down. Like, we shouldn't. Have you all had an opportunity to look at the menu? Yeah, that's where we at. I wouldn't even have entertained that because nobody really cares, frankly. Like, at least I don't. Okay, so maybe it's just me. But I just was like, that's so, like, what? So anyway, they're at the table. Teresa brings up the fact again that she, wants to bring someone in. She wants to change her last name to Davis's because she wants to feel like she is part of this family. And they are like, April, oh, here we go. April basically was like, look, you moving too fast. You need to pump your brake. Like, we're not there. Nick is, trying to be more diplomatic. Whoa, whoa, you just came into the relationship, so, because he think he's so cool and he's so 1977. And, they're like, she's moving too fast. They don't even know. Nick is having a problem with making the connection with Teresa. She comes into his office, okay? Now, he done already had her all up in the boom boom room, and she comes in there and has a conversation with him, and he's basically trying to tell her, without hurting her feelings, that he is not feeling her in the same manner in which she's feeling him. And the next thing you know, she gets teary-eyed, so he kind of backs up off of it, and he's like, okay, what, we'll think about this. I was about to call. I guess there are people out in the world. There's somebody for everybody. Maybe there's 3 or 4 people for Nick. I don't know. It seems like every time, another wife comes, old pictures of them resurface. So there's a couple of other women that, probably going to be on next season. Thank you so much, Miss Kelly 29 for the $2 super chat. Nick is immature. Nick is miniature and delusional. Like I said, Miss Kelly, honey, it gotta be somebody for everybody. I absolutely would not be interested in him one way or the other. The next couple that we're going to talk about is Yessel and Danny. So we pick up this week from where we left off last week, y'all. With Miss Jackie at the table saying, honey, I'm into sex. I love it. I want it. It's a hobby. She's into it. And she asks Danny straight out, I'm into it. I love it. And I want to know how you feel about it. So, so now Danny has to make a decision. But you ain't going to tell me that Yessel is not already sleeping with Jackie. You can't convince me that he's not already sleeping with Jackie. She's saying she don't know whether or not she's cool with it. What? So what does Danny expect to get out of this poly relationship? She wants This woman, so we've already established that Jackie has a daughter. Danny had mentioned on last week's episode, an episode prior to that, I don't know how I cut myself, but it's a razor cut. She had already mentioned that she does not want the woman who comes into this relationship with them to who may be of childbearing years to have a child with her husband, because she said that it's unsafe for her to have children. She already has two and they're both boys, and she desired a little girl. And so because she was unable to have a little girl, she doesn't want another woman to come into her relationship who has a little girl, who is capable of possibly bearing a daughter. So now she's saying that she wants this poly relationship. As we all know, Yessel had already stepped out of the relationship before without permission, without letting her know what was going on, and the two of them almost divorced because of it. But she stayed with him. She appears to be a stay-at-home mom, so she probably didn't have a choice. He's always going out on different business trips. I'm like, yeah, right, whatever. So check his receipts and the camera of the hotel. Anyway, so she doesn't want him to be with anybody who can possibly bear a child. She said that is one of her, okay, we're not doing this, right? That is her non-negotiable. So now we have him sitting at the table with Jackie, who appears to be very bold, who just told her, I love sex, honey, and I'm going to want to have it plenty with your husband. How you feeling about it, boo? So, she's like, I don't know how I feel about it, So he was like, so why do you want to do polygamy? Because why do you want to do a poly relationship when you know that that's part of the game, right? That's part of being in a poly relationship, is the intimacy in a sexual relationship that you're going to have between the two of you, or the one of you, right? Bryn, hey Bryn, she said Danny wants a nanny. I think so too, Bryn. So when he asked her that, she was like, no, I'm not saying that I'm not okay with the sex. I'm just not okay with how I'm going to feel about it. What? That doesn't even make sense. Like, what are you talking about? I think that, there's multiple things that are going on here. I think she has a fascination with a sister wife, thinking that this sister wife or this poly woman is going to come into her life to benefit her, wash dishes, wash the clothes, clean the walls, you know what I mean? Run the dishwasher, cook the meals, but not have anything that is going to benefit her in the relationship, which is intimacy with her husband. So he decides that, strategically, that he's going to leave the table and go to the restroom. So while he's at the table, Danny asks Jackie, let me ask you a question. So you said you have a daughter. Is it your intention to, or has your daughter talked about wanting a sibling? Is it your intention of having another kid? Is that somewhere in the horizon? And so Jackie was like, yeah. Now we all know that this is something that she does not want. She does not want her husband to have a baby. And she is saying that Jackie would have to go through another method in order to get pregnant, because she will not be able to get pregnant by her husband. Bottom line is, Yessel is already sleeping with this girl. He tells Jackie that he wants her to wait. Is she willing to wait until they make a decision about what they're going to do? Hell no. But she says yes. But I really think that on the side, honey, she getting hers, because these are the kind of men that they have. If Yessel went out on her, so basically, Yessel is the one that is. These men are the ones that go out and find these women. So why wouldn't he have already tested the water? Jackie seemed very comfortable to me, and it was the eye contact that she was making with him. I don't believe that he has not already been with her. And she's not going to control this. So she said that she, got to deal with her jealousy. And if she gets jealous about them having sex together, then the three of them going to work that out. Honey, Jackie going to be on the ceiling with your man. Jackie gonna probably be doing almost, honey, when she get with your man, out in public where you know what's going on. Girl, bye. Child, please. They just nasty. Talking about nasty. They sit up here and a whole conversation is about sheets. Juanita buying them, child. No more sheets. Danielle has wanted a sister wife and has been seeking one, spending money on them, giving them money for 6 seasons now. They finally convinced this young woman to leave Brazil and come and live with them. Now, all of a sudden, she got an issue with the girl sharing the bed with her husband. What was she doing when they was in Brazil? No, you did not say circus. No, you did not say circus. Honey. Now she's talking about, I have an issue and I have to get used to sharing me and Garrick's bed, our bed. So you intimidated by the little girl. Because her little butt is high lifted up. But Danielle, you're not competition. I'm sorry, you just not. So she's playing these mind games with the girl. So Garrick's sons make her a bike, right? They get her a bicycle. And she likes mountain riding, whatever. I need to go to bed. So, excuse me, that was rude. Pardon me. So she's happy about it and all of this. This girl is getting attention. In the meantime, and in between time, Danielle's back at the house worrying about how many times they're gonna wash the sheet and how many times Garrett gonna do the nasty with the girl. Now she wants to take the sister room that the two. Okay, so if you just knew here, right? So what happens is the two of them sleep. The two women sleep in what they call a sister's room. They both sleeping in twin beds. Now, mind you, this couple has a huge property, and in their huge property, the two of them are sleeping in twin beds. While Garrick has a bed, the boom boom room is just basically a bed with some flowers on a nightstand table. Why have all of this house and not decorate it and make it feel like home? Anyway, she is there. Garrick is wanting to be with her. And Danielle is now having an issue because she doesn't feel that they need to sleep with him together. So she's like, okay, so how many times are we going to be with you? So while the girl is using her interpreter app because she doesn't know English, Danielle just slightly brushes his hair back. Garrick. And they're having a sidebar conversation while the girl is trying to talk to them on the app. So disrespectful, so insecure. And the thing about it is, I have seen people who, and it's strategic, who will mispronounce your name or call you someone else, right? To devalue you. Y'all, if I told y'all about the story, they will call you by somebody else's name and say, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I'm sorry, I meant to say auntie. It's to devalue you every time you hear it. It's a strategy. So, in order to devalue Lorena, she keeps calling her Roberta. When Roberta took all their money, took her man and her money, made her get a divorce from her husband so that Roberta could come over here and marry him, and her mother was getting the coins. They running around doing the visa and all kinds of stuff for her to get here. And at the last minute, she goes some good form because she has this girl over here, and this girl is serious competition for Danielle. First of all, she's a whole different You know what? I ain't even gonna go there. But we know. Danielle's having an issue. So she begins to talk, and the girl is trying to talk, and her and Garrick are laughing, and Kiki and then Kakan. And so she types on her thing, on her translator app, look, I don't like what y'all doing. I don't like to not be involved in the conversation. Let's have the conversation together. This is disrespectful and I don't like it. She chin checked her. Sure did. She said, I may be young, but I'm ready. You're not going to disrespect me. And guess what they had to do? They had to get that together because she won't playing with them people. Now Danielle's sitting there looking checked. And she is basically doing this little slick stuff that she's doing. She is going to run. Remind me later. She is going to run this girl right into her husband's arm even deeper. Who cares about how many times that she's got to wash them? Then she's sitting up there talking about our bed, me and Garrick. Yeah, she's having a problem with it. Because she probably looking at like that little tight young, because this girl is much younger than Danielle. Danielle's in shape, but this girl is much younger, and that booty is sitting up high like a TV dinner stand. Okay. Y'all know when we get to be a certain age, I don't care how good we look, we can't compete. Where we don't compare. And it's all right with me because I love aging. Sure do. Danielle got a problem with this girl, and it's just sickening, right? And the thing about it is, you never can win when you're dirty. You never can win when you're dirty. Who is the next couple and the last couple that I want to talk about? Come on. Child, Shanay is gone. Shanay went to their house last week. Shanay told them she got her a man, and Shanay was like, I ain't got no real relationship. My man told me that he don't want me to be intimate with you no more. Well, Papa Smurf goes and sends her one text message And because she didn't respond to the text message, he called himself being over her. Let me tell you something. This is a sorry man, but I'm trying to tell y'all one thing right now, okay? And we're going to be very clear on this. How old is this girl? How old is his wife? Because her mannerisms, the way that she acts, she seems very young. She said that she cannot lose Shanay. She said she ain't gonna be able to do it. She asked him when was the last time he talked to her. He said it's been a while since he's talked to Shanay. And she was like, why? He said, well, I sent her a text out and she never responded back, so I ain't sent her nothing else. And she was like, okay, but you still need to reach out to her. And so now he sits there and tell her, well, she reached out to me and I don't feel like I want to be a pest. One text message? If you only sent her one text message and you think that she's supposed to jump, Shanae getting her. Anyway, so she was like, he said, what am I supposed to do? She said, you need to. He said, well, she shut the door. He said, so what am I supposed to do? She said, you're supposed to knock on it. He doesn't have any pursuit in him. So now here it is. She's sitting up there worrying about Shanae, right? And he is online now talking to someone by the name of Marilyn, who is a witch. He didn't even ask his wife. He didn't tell his wife that he was even pursuing anyone else. So he's just a cheater. And y'all, I bet you that he ain't. I gotta find a way of saying it without you two feeling like, y'all, I guarantee you, this is the size of a Sharpie top. Because the wife needs Shanae. She needs Shanae to do what she don't want to do. I don't think she want to be with him. I think she got her two kids. And she wants somebody else to be with him that way. I don't think that she wants to be with him at all. And she said, I cannot lose Shanae. Shanae doesn't do her dishes. She doesn't take care of her kids. She doesn't do anything like that. She doesn't live in her house. She lives in another well-to-do neighborhood, right? In her house, the value of her house is more than theirs. He's already admitted that she lives in a high-rent district and that him and his wife can't move closer to her. So Shanae did what she needed to do. She went on and got her another man. Shanae got a man at home. And the wife don't seem like she interested in him. She look like she about at least 15 years younger than them. I don't know what their ages are. But y'all let me know if y'all know downtown in the chat what their names are. I mean, their ages are. But just the way that she communicates, she seems very young. So he tells her that he in Maryland used to date when they was, I guess teenagers, and they had been talking on social media, and now they're dating each other. And now he wants her to go and meet this girl Maryland. And she was like, how in the hell you gonna go to Maryland? Well, we're not even finished with Shanay, and we need to make sure that Shanay knows, because now I feel like we cheating on Shanay. But he wants to be satisfied in another way. So they get on the road. I couldn't have did it. You know what? I could never do anything like this. So they get on the road. They go down to Maryland's. They meet Maryland at some little craft store, and they start doing. And Maryland tell them that she's straight up a witch. They get to doing their little arts and craft, and guess what Maryland told them? She said, "So how was it when you was with him and back in the day?" She said, "Child, it was not the best." She said it really wasn't. It really wasn't good. Um, it was okay. It wasn't. If I had to rate him from a scale of 1 to 10, I probably would rate him a 3 or a 4. He was like, "What?" She was like, "It just wasn't satisfactory." Is that the word she used, y'all? What was the word that she used? It satisfactory, mediocre. It was all right. His ego got knocked down to the ground in front of his wife. But basically, that's the same place Shanay was, because remember when Shanay had met with him, where they was trying to make the decision on where they were going in a relationship, Shanay wouldn't let him do anything but massage her feet. Y'all remember that? Shanay wasn't impressed. Mm-mm. And that's why she was willing to go with someone else. She was like, "It's not a good relationship. They're not doing anything for my daughter and I." But his wife is saying, "No, I need you to make sure that you stay in contact with Shanay, because I'm not liking the witch." But the witch was like, "Mm-mm." Now all of a sudden, since first he was all gun ho, you know what I'm saying, to be with Merlin, and after Merlin knocked his ego down a peg, now he don't want to be with Merlin. Now he got to go back out in a hunt for Shanay. This is a mess. These couples are a mess. Period. Point blank. Period. I could not do this. I don't see how people do this. Her husband is not faithful at all, because he just went to another woman, didn't even ask her permission, which is the same thing that Yessel did with Danny. He did the same exact thing. But now he's learning. But I still think he with Jackie already. But anyway, y'all, that is the end of my review. I thank you all so much for being here. Hey, look, y'all, there is a show that's coming on. I thought that I had it. Okay, wait a minute. So y'all notice I have not done the other way. You know what? Let me do another video. I'm not going to put it on this one. I'm going to come right back out. We just going to have a real quick conversation. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have a real quick conversation. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for being here. Let me know down in the comments section in the replay of what you think about this. And we'll talk soon. Until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Bye.